Just stop oil. Just stop.
I believe in the cause. I think it's a noble cause. We've got to get off carbon fuels, save the planet. But I do believe it's counterproductive, as Trevor Nilsson, I think his name is, multimillionaire American who started funding.
Put lots of money into it.
It's all become performative, and people aren't talking about the issue. They're talking angrily.
Well, today was the
about
first time, Esther, I've been at one of these events as it happened, right? So it was the start of the Lord's Test match, the Ashes. It's the biggest event in world cricket. It's the most important tournament. And it's honestly my favourite day of the year, actually, in terms of sport. Right? I love it, even more than football. Yeah. And the crowd was buzzing. It's been an exciting series so far. The players come out. They've been out there for about 5-10 minutes. And then we knew immediately what it was, right? 3 idiots coming on, throwing the orange powder. It's just stop oil. And the reaction of the crowd was, nobody was like, go on.
Yeah.
I'm behind you. Which, with every protest, there's normally some people going, go on.
You agree.
Everyone was like, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Not them again.
No, but you know
a
who
bit like
should
that
be,
woman in the Boris Johnson clip. Oh, no, like that. It's like,
Not again.
And that was the reaction of the entire crowd. So this idea that this protest is somehow changing minds, it's for the birds.
Well, I mean, the people that should be most incensed by Just Stop Oil are people that are passionate about the environment. People that are true environmentalists, because you don't want to turn the public against your cause. And when they make a mockery of a genuine message, something that people are very passionate about, I think it's really disappointing.
I will caution, though, in protests that have been unpopular in the past but prove right in the long run. Emily Wilding Davison tried to pin a suffragette banner to the King's horse.
Yes.
Derby, I think it was in 1980.
I think
she
the
was
difference
killed,
is, though,
but that was a right.
The
But she got
difference is
booed.
we are moving to. I mean, this is net zero is a massive political agenda.
I know,
we
but
are moving towards what they want anyway.
But the suffragettes were booed by the crowd. I remember the Daily Mirror led on, protester disrupts Derby. It wasn't a noble cause, should I? Or you think of the Springboks tours in the early 1970s, apartheid Africa. Matches were disrupted by protesters going on the pitch. The fans all booed them, but they were right. And in the end, they stopped the tours, and that contributed to the downfall of white supremacy in South Africa. So I think they're counterproductive now, Just Stop Oil, but there is a little bit in the back of my head saying
there's a false dichotomy
others
there.
have been said to be counterproductive in the past.
I think you're comparing it to things that are not relevant. The examples you've given were people fighting for rights that have been deprived of them, right? They're not fighting for rights for people that are. They're not fighting.
I think saving the planet is quite a big fight.
Hold on, no, they're arguing for something that hasn't been taken away from us, right? If you're a suffragette and you're arguing for the right to vote, that's something that you should have a legal right to. For you to tell us or to try and pressure the public to stop using oil, which we're trying to do anyway, that is completely different.
They are fighting to end the destruction of the planet,
on their timeline.
which will hit Britain, but it will hit a lot of poorer countries.
Well, we live in a democracy.
No, we do.
And we take.
My frustration with him is the guy who was at the desk here. I've talked to him a few times. He's committed to this. He believes in it passionately. He's very well informed. He's very intelligent. I would love to have a normal debate with him, but every time we wheel him out, it's because these clowns have done something stupid again. Yeah. And all right, you might say, well, OK, it gets him on, but we don't get him on. He doesn't really air the proper arguments. We're not really getting anywhere. It's more a defensive thing about why he thinks they should carry on doing it.
I think if they got out and about and they talked to people, wider people, I would think they'd find there's a hostility growing. And it's rather like the blocking roads. Now, if you're frustrating people going to work or going to see their families, going to hospitals, whatever it is,
OK,
you're not going to get them to back you.
Let's see if people have persuaded me that we should have a month-long Pride celebration. This is London Zoo with the animals celebrating Pride. We've got some footage of this, I think. Funny, and I want to make it crystal clear. I support Pride, OK? I'm proud of Pride. I have always campaigned, as a broadcaster for equal rights for all gay people and for trans people and for every other one of those letters that increases by the week. But do we really need this?
Yeah.
Do we?
Why?
Yeah, look, I love London
Animals
Zoo.
at London Zoo, virtue signalling.
I take my grandkids.
About something they know nothing about.
I take my grandkids to London Zoo all the time. They always try and get you engaged in other ways. Are you going to be against Easter egg hunts, London Zoo, or Christmas celebrations?
Are Easter egg hunts political?
Later in the week, they're going to have a lot of information on conservationists.
But here's the point.
Scientists who are going, and also in the animal kingdom.
Why do only the LGBTQ1I, I can't remember the rest of it, but why does only that group of communities get a whole month?
Yeah,
Well, this is the thing. I'm sorry. I dread Pride Month. I think it doesn't need to be a whole month. It can just be a weekend. I don't see why we need to have 30 whole days of this celebration or whatever.
I think it's ridiculously over the top.
Yeah,
And the thing is, there's always.
And why does absolutely everything have to be the rainbow? Why?
Yeah, but there's Black History Month. Now, maybe London Zoo don't do anything with that. Now, they might.
Black History Month, you don't go around everywhere and everywhere is a sea of Black History.
And what would you do for Black? Paint everything black?
Maybe it should.
What would you do on Black? Paint everything black.
Well, no,
it's not been commercialized in the same way because it actually means something.
Maybe it will down the line.
Why don't we have Veterans Month?
Yeah, you could have.
But why don't we?
If you propose it.
Why don't we? Oh, people have proposed it.
Well, people have to.
But why? In other words, why do veterans who serve their country who get wounded? Why don't we have a month for them?
Yep.
And that's a legitimate question.
All right, rather than Armed Forces Day. Well, maybe
why not have Armed Forces Month?
Maybe a political party or the government or veterans themselves could campaign for it. Because why do we have Pride? We have Pride because gay people who used to suffer appalling bigotry and discrimination,
the truth, though,
to some extent,
young people, they don't need Pride because they're not. Everything's moved on.
Yeah.
Young people don't really get this whole sexuality thing. I mean, they don't.
I mean, for my generation, it just feels like overkill.
They'll be told for a month you've got to let people be equal. They feel it.
But it's kind of moved. Once it was defiance, now it's become more of a celebration.
All right.